I was hanging out with all the older people. And then
unfortunately,
with the whole public school systems too, man, is like you never know what you're gonna get in there.
That's
you know
true.
What I mean,
that's true, because it can go either way.
Yep.
And then I figured, well, you want to protect them, but the problem is that, like, let's say all of the shit that you've been through or that I've been through, right? None of which we would want to have to repeat as far as the traumas, but at the same time, those traumas have helped to make us who we are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They're
As
challenges.
far as like situational awareness, you know what I mean? The ability to pick up faces, ill intent, read energy, read the room, you know what I mean? All this kind of stuff as a result of those difficulties. So I'm like, well, if I protect you too much, you won't be able to move, you know what I mean? Like your whole world
You'll be too comfortable.
Yeah, or you'll be too like naive as to the evils of the world we live.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, all right, well, at this point, I think it's better to just put you out here, and we're going to have to navigate these waters together. You're going to have to start to swim. You got to make some decisions. And within that, you are going to make mistakes, right? But there has to be an acceptable, like, threshold, right? Like, you can't be out here, if you got a daughter. To me, having a train ran on you in the bathroom is not an acceptable mistake. You know what I mean? Like,
no.
But something like peer pressure, right? Like,
cigarettes and
I would hope. Yeah, I would
things
hope,
like that.
Yeah, you do. And it's like, and we need the environment to experiment with all this. So I'm like, okay, school is an acceptable kind of zone because it can go very far left and it can go very far right. A lot of which is up to
the person
individual.
making the decision.
Yeah.
And for me, when I was in high school, man, I was lucky because I grew up with people that stole stole shit, right? So I had people that would rob the Tasties truck as a kid with garbage bags and fucking Hostess snacks and shit. Like, remember, like
Wonder
the one
Bread and shit?
Yeah, back when they used to have that over off of Rice.
Okay.
You know what I'm
saying? Yeah, I do remember that truck. I remember that Schwan.
I know.
Swanson, was it Schwan or Swanson?
Schwans.
Yeah.
For delivery. Yep. And they got good shit in there.
Yeah.
And I knew people that would steal from that. And
when they go in.
And I would bring that shit to school, bro, and I'll hustle it out my locker.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what kind of built me up in school because I did my own thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I didn't have to be a straight pothead, or I didn't have to be an alcoholic. But when I was making money out my locker and selling snacks and shit, I used that money to buy cologne for both men and women. So now I got both guys and girls waiting on me at my locker.
Right.
You know, it was the first. Wasn't even my first hustle, but it was the only hustle I had in high school.
Yeah.
Because I had a situation I was in that, for instance, we're not going to eat all these.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Might as well try to sell some of them.
Right.
And because of that, man, that's what made me comfortable in high school, is having my own lane.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I don't know what that's like for women. You know what I'm saying?
I don't either, to be honest. You know, and then as a teenager, you're going through like adolescence, the hormones, and you're starting to come into that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm over that shit.
For real. Now, I'd imagine it comes on harder, stronger for a guy, but people are different. You know what I mean? Girls can you know, as it comes to sexual nature being activated in a person, some men are more sexually oriented than others, and some women are more sexually driven than others.
Yep.
You know, it so happens, it seems that
sex drive. It's a sex drive.
Right.
There's different levels to that.
It is, but when you like your hormones are just starting at that age, you know what I mean? And shit's swinging. One day it could be high, your testosterone or your estrogen, and the next day it could be low. You know what I mean? And your emotions are high or low. What's going on in life? You're not a child anymore, but you're not an adult. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a lot of.
You really don't know, and that's the thing too, is like most people don't realize it, but saying like you honestly don't know shit is one of the most humbling experiences you can have.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I also think it's powerful. You know what I mean? In the sense that you know where you are. You know what I mean? And you're not ashamed to be like, listen, I don't know. Like, but again, that's one of those things where we can talk to each other until we're blue in the face, but until a person is in a situation, we don't really know what we're going to do. You know what I mean? So school, I looked at it like it's a kind of a comfortable muck-up zone. You know what I mean? Not comfortable, but...
Well, I mean, you had to go at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Because if you didn't go, that's when... Because I was truant. I went through truancy multiple times.
You know what's crazy?